action in the Octagon from Charlotte. The battle begins tomorrow at 8 Eastern on Fox. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys missed the playoffs this season after being the #1 seed in the NFC in 2016. Dak's stats were down across the board, including throwing 9 more interceptions than he did in his rookie year. Yesterday, Jerry Jones said the offense will be more Dak-friendly. Take a listen.
I just think we need to take advantage of what we have in Dak. And I think we can, a part of that will be expanding the playbook and expanding, not to be trite, but really becoming more problematic for defenses.
You need another weapon.
And coming in before the game, change it up. I think that's what this offseason's about. I think that's what the position coach changes are about, is to change it up, and then as a part of changing it up more during the season, from the beginning of the season to the middle of the season to the end of the season. I think you're going to see a lot more variation in what we're doing.
Variation in terms of
just variation in terms of schemes, in terms of techniques.
We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst Eric Dickerson. Welcome, Eric.
Closet Cowboy fan, Eric.
Oh, please. You know you love the Cowboys.
Eric, what does this mean for the Cowboys offense?
Well, when he says, make it more Dak-friendly, I can tell when he's talking, it's not dumbing it down for sure, but not for a quarterback. When I look at Dak's stats from last year, he had fewer touchdowns by 1, 22 compared to 23. The big one is games won. They won 13, they won 9 this past season. Interceptions, for sure, 4 of the first year, 13 this year. And what Skip always likes this, the passer rating, 86.6 this year, 104.9.
I actually like QBR better than that,
Okay,
but go ahead.
In that same area.
Okay.
104.9. I think the big thing is that Dak is an elite quarterback. I think he's still one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. I think it really comes down to coaching. That's my main thing is coaching. I look at what Sean McVay did with Jared Goff, guy that they thought was truly a bust. People were saying he was a bust. You can even look at what Doug Peterson did with Carson Wentz. Even what he's doing right now. I feel like that it's a coaching change. You have to be coaching. I'll say this much here. We'll even do this for you, Skip. We'll take the Rams playbook and we'll just slap a Cowboy logo on it. I think that's what y'all need.
Will you slap a Sammy Watkins on there?
Oh, you really out on Sammy Watkins. You really out on Dez, huh?
Well, I need somebody who can get open.
Joe, you remember the first year, every year I come over here, he's somebody, throw up the X, Joy. Throw up the X. But if you were doing this year.
If it's one down thing I would have to say about Dak is that I think he has to learn what I know the great Tom Brady has done, Aaron Rodgers has done. I think and that's throwing your receivers open. Learn how to throw them open, and that means you have to have a continuity with your receivers, and I think that's what's missing with Dak and his receivers. Other than that, I just feel like it's really a coaching problem because the coaches are supposed to make your young quarterback that much better. I mean, in his second year. I mean, Dak was exceptional in his first year, and at football, and Shannon, is that we watch film. They start watching film. They start watching your tendencies, what you like to do, what gives you problems. Does cover 2 give him problems? Does cover 4 give him problems? Does hand in his face give him problems? Does blitzes give him problems? So, and this year the Cowboys had to throw the football a lot more. I mean, they really did. I mean, because they didn't know if they're going to have Dak. I mean, if they're going to have Zeke or not. If he's going to be in or out. So, and keeping Zeke in on third downs, like the Rams did this year, is important. It really is, because Zeke is a good blocker. And I think getting him into the mix more. So, I don't think you can put it all on Dak. I think you really have to look at Jason. And I like Jason Garrett. I know Jerry Jones loves him, but I think it's something to do with coaching.
I do not. I think they need to take advantage of Zeke because that's why they had the success. You mentioned Jared Goff. What did Todd Gurley do this year? What didn't Todd Gurley do the year before?
No offensive line.
That's my thing. Skip, we can dress this up all you want to. And I'm not saying that in a given time, Dak won't be elite or even great, but he's a long way from that. Tom Brady was not great his first year. He wasn't great his second year. Tom Brady wasn't great when he won the first Super Bowl. They were a running team. If you look at Dak numbers, they came down because Zeke missed 6 weeks. You had to, now granted, he had an historically great rookie season. The offensive line played like they did in 2014. But when you remove Zeke, that's the game changer, Skip. You can dress out. You can tell me you want Dak. I mean, QBR dropped from 79 to 66.
Wait, third in the league 2 years ago. This year he dropped all the way to fourth in the league. Awful. You gave him an F for dropping from third to fourth in the whole NFL.
Oh, you know that game? Hey,
An F?
Yeah, but
That's just silly.
But he came to my restaurant and ordered 4 more plates of L's. That's what he did order.
Yeah, but
13 to 9.
why wore those Fs?
Yeah, because
Zeke.
Zeke. You want to make it more friendly? Give Zeke the football. Play action off of that, because that's what you were able to do his rookie year. Look at Tony Romo's best season. DeMarco Murray in 2014. Football. Play action. Dez had a big monster day, Skip Bayless. Look, you can all this you want to talk about this. There's a maturation process that must take place with every quarterback. John Elway was great, but we became a very different team once we got that 30 back there. He was our best player. Let her ride him home. Your best player is 2-1. Now, you can talk about the quarterback the most important. He touches the ball every time. I get all that.
Truth.
But he ain't the best player. 2-1 is their best player. Don't you forget it.
The running back is making a comeback.
When they won 11 straight games a year ago, Dak Prescott was the best player on the team. And there were times last year when he was the best player on the team. And before I get into the whys of last year, I want to get back to what we just saw Jerry Jones say. It's baffling to me because he's saying we need more imagination. We need more variation.
But you keep the head coach in OC.
You kept the head coach, and you all you did was change the quarterback coach, Wade Wilson, out.
And the receiver coach.
And
Derek Dooley.
Okay, you could do that, but little Kellen Moore, remember the backup quarterback?
Yeah.
He got elevated to quarterback coach. So he's retired now, and he grew up as the son of a former high school coach, great program in the state of Washington. So he's a smart young man.
Yeah.
Is he going to start calling plays now? I don't know, because if you really want to shake it up, you fire Scott Linehan. Was it his fault last year that they were just too predictable? I don't know. So let's look at what Dak had around him. The offensive line underachieved all year. You can't tell me that was the best offensive line in football, because his pass blockers, and remember, Ty Smith missed 3 big games, and when he was out, they had nobody over there. They could have had me over there. Seriously, I could have done what Chaz Green did at Atlanta, which is give up 6 sacks. I could have given up 6. Well, am I right?
16, maybe.
Yeah, maybe 16. But they gave up 8 total that day.
Yeah.
And every time Dak sat on that back foot, boom, he got hit in the back, right?
Yeah, because he couldn't run. Ain't got Zeke.
Couldn't run.
But you had to make adjustments. Go ahead.
So we start there. And now let's look at the receivers. Show me one receiver other than Bryce Butler, who didn't get to play very much, who could separate from whoever was covering. Show me one. Because the Hall of Fame receiver across from me said all year long, Dez Bryant is a disaster. Am I right?
Yeah.
He is a broken down shadow of what he used to be.
Correct.
And so I look at the numbers from 2014. Again, Tony Romo, they had the wavelength, they had the connection. They did have DeMarco leading the league in rushing. I give you that. Yeah. But Romo's throwing jump balls to Dez Bryant. The targets were almost the same in 2014 as they were this past season. It's 132 to 137. So it's 5 fewer targets. Yeah. But in 2014, he caught 64% of them. That'll work. Yeah. Last year, he caught 52% of them for 482 fewer yards on the same targets than he had in 2014. 16 touchdowns in 2014, 6 touchdowns last year. So you keep going to 88 because the read tells you 88 single covered. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's not even the best corner. It's just whoever's over there who happens to come
where he comes out at.
Okay? And so Dak's thinking, I got to throw it to 88. And there's a lot of pressure exerted by 88 in the huddle and in the locker room. Throw it to 88, throw it to 88. And he's throwing up the X when the ball gets there. Yep. And it's hitting him right in the X, right? Am I right? And then look at little Cole Beasley. 2 years ago, he caught 75 balls. That's like Wes Welker-esque. Yeah. You know, that's Edelman Amendola-esque. Last year, he caught 36. That's That's more than half the production
So he was
drop
living
off.
up to he's living up to his name.
Okay. Beasley. But I'm pretty sure what my eye test told me is that every defense said, just double him, bracket him. Again, sometimes it's just with the linebacker.
Right.
And Dak would say, oh, he's doubled. I got to throw it to 88.
Yeah.
Well, there are ways with option routes. I mean, how many times was Julian Edelman double covered or Wes Welker? I would tell you 80% of the time they're double covered, especially on a key third down.
Right.
Right? And yet, they got rapport, option route. You know, I'm going to trust you. You're going to go here. You're going to go there. And I'm going to throw you open because we're going to anticipate where you're going to beat those two guys.
Correct.
Right? Okay, so you lose that. So you don't have anybody except Jason Witten, who's going to be on our show from the Super Bowl. Greatest tight end ever. But he's in his waning years. So is he going to hurt anybody after catch? He can get open and screen you. You know, he can catch 4 yards.
He get you a couple first down.
He cannot run this man right here.
No, Edie.
Okay. So, look, you first of all, what you need to change for Dak is you need to get him a little help, just somebody who can catch it.
Oh, okay.
And I think receiver will be a priority in the draft.
Yes.
Okay. But again, the two key games, the turning point games, were the first one against your team at Jerry World, and the second one the next week at home against Aaron Rodgers. These are the turning point of the year. And guess who was still there? Ezekiel Elliott was there. Go look at his numbers. Not great those days. Dak Prescott was sensational in both games. He threw one interception against you guys in the second half when it started to teeter, and so it hurt his QBR a little bit, but it was still 78. Against Aaron Rodgers, he was 97 QBR on scale of 0 to 100. So once again, he outplayed Aaron Rodgers. And what happened? They led 24-16 on you guys at halftime, and you're a little queasy at halftime, right?
I wasn't even worried.
Yes, you were. You were a little queasy.
Anyway.
And they led Aaron Rodgers 21-12 at halftime, so he scored 24 and 21. That'll work.
Yeah.
And you know what happened in the second half? No Sean Lee. The defense fell right on its face in its home dome.
If you don't mind me asking,
They got blown off the field in the second half.
if you don't mind me asking, they scored 24 points in the first quarter. I mean, the first half against the Rams. Why couldn't they score 24 in the second quarter?
Because they didn't have the ball very much.
But they did. So the Rams did. So when the Rams scored, they kicked the ball out to the Cowboys.
So the way it works in football is your defense has to take the ball back, you know. So as Belichick's defense, as you pointed out to me in the fourth quarter against Jacksonville, they took it back. They forced punt, and punt, right?
Yeah.
Okay. These guys forced nothing but touchdowns for the other team. That's what they forced.
But even so, Skip, you still get an opportunity. So even if they score a touchdown, they kick it off to you, you can go back and match them. He didn't. I mean, they gave up. I mean, they had 21.
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out what. So if they scored 24 in the first half against the Rams, what did they score?
Where was Zeke in the second half? Help me out. Where was your best player?
Where was that?
Where was he?
Where was that? Where was that guy put 24?
Where was he, Shannon?
He was playing, but you're right.
I don't know.
We had the ball. The Rams had the ball more in the second half.
They did.
I'll still say it comes down to most definitely. Like I kept telling, Zeke wasn't there. You wouldn't know if you're going to have him or you're not going to have him. And that's a
trust me,
distraction.
the cloud hung over this team
That
from
is
game
right.
to
Well,
game to
Well,
game.
maybe Jerry is saying, I don't know going forward if I can count on Zeke to be there.
Maybe.
Maybe that's why we need to make it more Dak friendly, because if we keep it Zeke friendly, what happens if Zeke is not here?
You got me there.
Look at Russell Wilson in the Super Bowl year, and look at Russell Wilson now. Marshawn Lynch was second in the rushing when they won the Super Bowl. Russell was 22nd in passing. Now it's flipped. They didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now it took Russell a while to mature to become what he is, Skip. You know, you just can't throw the guy over. Oh yeah, he had a great rookie year, so that's what he's going to be moving forward.
But he didn't have a terrible year.
Yeah, he did.
But the Cowboys, Zach's first year, the Cowboys were in control of most of those games, so they wasn't playing from behind. They played from behind a lot this year. So that's the difference.
That's true.
When you can play from the front, I can run the football.
Oh yeah,
I play action. I can hand the ball off to Zeke. I can run
front runner. What you call it?
From behind.
Yeah, you say something about the front runner.
Although I do remember that game at Pittsburgh 2 years ago, 42 seconds left, and it looked like it was over, and Dak Prescott said, I got this.
That Stevie Wonder song, I wish those days.
So since Jason Witten's going to be here next week, are we going to set up this race?
Man, I'm going to blow the doors off Jason.
Can I please race you?
All three of you can race.
If you don't sit your old 59-year-old...
I don't care if I'm 61, I'll still outrun you.
He wants to race you. Why are you being scary?
He's scared.
He
don't want none of this.
He wants to do it. Why are you being scary?
This man ran like 4.3.
Yeah, 40 years ago.
And what did you run with your best time?
I didn't run 4.3.
What did you run your best time?
I ran fast as I wanted.
What's your best time?
I saw Darryl Green run you down.
I cannot run Darryl Green.
Why don't we just do it?
So Darryl Green ran past you and came back.
I'm going to set it up. We're going to do it. I'm going to set it up. We'll do it for charity. Will you do it?
Yep. Oh, please.
Oh, please.
Will you? Look at me.
gonna be there?
Look at me. You'll do it?
Yeah, you. I'm gonna blow the nose off.
He's known to welch, so we have it.
I gotta start training these little hams.
There we go. Eric, thanks for joining
I
us.
gotta start training.
Is Chris Broussard shocked that LeBron picked Kyrie for his All-Star team? We'll ask him that next.
We'll set it up in 2020.